Everyone's got a detailing product they swear by. But here's the brutal truth. Most of what's sitting in your garage right now is either doing nothing or slowly destroying your paint. The detailing industry is a minefield of marketing hype, fake before and afters, and products that cost 3 times what they should. I've tested hundreds of products over the last decade, wasted thousands of dollars, and watched clear coat failures that could have been avoided. Today I'm exposing the 10 products that actually deliver results and the 5 that are bleeding your wallet dry while damaging your car. One of these bad products is so popular it's in almost every enthusiast's arsenal, and it's causing micro damage you can't see until it's too late. Stay till the end because I'm revealing the single biggest detailing lie that even professionals keep repeating. Let's clear something up fast. When I say a product works, I mean it delivers measurable protection, measurable correction, or measurable cleaning without introducing new problems, not just shine. Shine is the easiest illusion to create. You can make paint look glossy with cooking oil if you want, but 3 days later you'll have a hazy dirt magnet disaster. Real detailing products either remove defects, bond to the surface, and shield it from UV and contaminants, or lift grime without scratching or stripping existing protection. The difference between a working product and a shiny gimmick comes down to chemistry and durability. If it doesn't pass a water test after 30 days, it's not protection. If it doesn't remove swirls without adding new ones, it's not correction. If it doesn't clean without etching or hazing, it's trash. That's the filter I use, and that's the standard we're holding every single product to today. Here's what the brands don't want you to understand. Most detailing products are repackaged commodity chemicals with a logo slapped on and a price multiplied by 5. The same carnival wax that costs $8 in bulk gets bottled as a $40 boutique paste. The same CO2 polymer sold to coating companies ends up in 12 different spray sealants, all claiming proprietary formulas. They fund influencers to show dramatic 50-50 shots on the grimiest cars they can find, because anything looks good compared to neglect. They use terms like nanotechnology and ceramic-infused and hydrophobic shield to make simple products sound revolutionary. And it works, because most car owners don't know the chemistry and don't have lab access to verify claims. So they buy based on packaging, hype, and before and after photos that may or may not even be the same car. The marketing budget on some of these products is 10 times the research budget. Now here's where it gets interesting. A product can work perfectly in one scenario and fail catastrophically in another, and the labels never tell you which is which. Take ceramic spray sealants. On a garage-kept car in a mild climate, they're brilliant. Fast application, 6 months of protection, great water behavior. But on a daily driver in Arizona summer, or a car that sits under trees dropping sap, those same sealants can bake into a hazy layer that won't come off without polishing. Or look at clay bars. Fantastic for decontamination on cool paint in the shade with tons of lubricant, but use one in direct sun or with too little lube and you'll mar the clear coat worse than the contamination you were removing. Bug and tar removers work great on fresh splatter, but left on the paint for 5 minutes too long, they'll strip your wax and start softening clear. The pros know these conditional rules. The weekend detailer doesn't, and that's where the damage happens. Let's kill the biggest myth right now. More product does not mean better results. In fact, overuse is one of the fastest ways to ruin your finish. Thick layers of wax don't protect better, they just haze and attract dust. Piling on ceramic coating thinking it'll last longer just creates high spots and streaks that are a nightmare to level. Using too much compound generates so much heat you'll burn through clear coat on edges. Even something as basic as soap, too much creates residue that dulls the shine and messes with your next layer of protection. The instructions say, a little goes a long way for a reason. But everyone ignores it because we've been trained to think excess equals results. I've seen people use half a bottle of quick detailer on one car and wonder why it's streaky. I've watched someone apply 3 coats of spray wax in a row and end up with a blotchy mess that took an hour to remove. Less is faster, cheaper, and better. Here's the hidden mechanism nobody explains. Detailing products work in layers, and every layer interacts chemically with what's underneath. When you apply a sealant over a wax, or a coating over a sealant, or a quick detailer over a coating, you're creating interfaces that can bond, repel, or degrade each other. Some combinations lock in beautifully, others separate, flake, or turn cloudy within days. Silicone-based products can prevent ceramic coatings from bonding. Solvent-based cleaners can strip polymer sealants you applied a week ago. If you use an all-in-one polish that has fillers, then apply a pure sealant on top. Those fillers wash out and suddenly your paint looks worse than before you started. Most people layer products randomly based on what's in the cabinet, and then blame the products when the finish looks terrible. The products aren't bad, the chemistry is just fighting itself. It's like mixing tap water into your coolant and wondering why you have corrosion. So, how do you know when something's gone wrong? Look for haze that won't buff out, water behavior that gets worse instead of better, or surfaces that feel rough after you've supposedly protected them. If your paint looks duller 3 weeks after a sealant application, that product either failed or reacted badly with something else. If you see streaking that returns 10 minutes after you wipe it away, there's residue or If your coating starts peeling or flaking in spots, it never bonded properly, usually because the surface wasn't prepped or because another product interfered. And here's a big one. If your glass or trim starts looking oily or smeared, no matter how much you wipe, you've used a product with too much silicone or oils that are migrating. These symptoms don't always show up immediately. Sometimes it takes a rain, a wash, or 2 weeks of sun exposure before the problem becomes obvious. By then, you've already wasted time and money. Turbocharged cars, track cars, and anything running high under hood temperatures need a completely different strategy. Standard dressings on engine plastics can bake into a sticky film or even ignite if they contact hot metal. Spray waxes and sealants on hoods that see extreme heat will break down faster, sometimes in weeks instead of months. If you're running aggressive pads on a high-speed polisher for paint correction, the friction heat multiplies. So you need compounds designed to stay cool and lubricating under pressure. High-mileage cars with faded or thin clear coat can't handle the same abrasives as newer paint. Go to aggressive and you'll strike primer or base coat in seconds. Convertibles and cars with large glass roofs need UV-focused protection because sun damage happens faster. Matte and satin finishes are a whole different world where most traditional waxes and glazes will add gloss and ruin the look. If your car has any of these factors, using mainstream products without adjustment is asking for trouble. Now here's the twist. Everyone misses. You don't need the most expensive product in the category. You need the right product applied correctly at the right time. I've seen $15 microfiber towels outperform $50 boutique ones because they had the right weave and pile depth for the task. I've tested budget ceramic sprays that lasted 5 months versus flagship coatings that failed in 3 because the prep was bad. The secret isn't always the formula. It's surface prep, application method, curing conditions, and layering logic. A mediocre sealant applied too perfectly decontaminated, polished paint in a controlled environment will outlast a top-tier coating slapped onto dirty, oily panels in humid 90-degree weather. The pros don't win because they have secret products. They win because they control every variable. That's the skill gap, not the product gap. Stop chasing the next miracle bottle and start mastering the process. Here's your checklist. 1. Identify your actual need: correction, protection, or maintenance. Don't buy a compound if you need a sealant. 2. Check compatibility. Read whether it's safe over existing layers or if it requires a bare surface. 3. Verify the cure and layering time. Some products need 6 hours before water exposure, others need 10 minutes. 4. Match the product to your environment. Garage-kept cars can use different products than cars baking in sun or freezing in snow. 5. Test on a small hidden area first, especially with new chemicals or aggressive compounds. 6. Use the right tools. A foam applicator isn't the same as microfiber, and a DA polisher isn't the same as a rotary. 7. Follow the instructions exactly. If it says thin coats, don't glob it on. 8. Keep records of what you used and when so you know what's compatible for your next step. These 8 rules will save you more money than any product review ever will. Here's your final takeaway. The best detailing arsenal isn't the biggest or the most expensive. It's the most intentional. Every product should have a clear role, proven results in your specific conditions, and compatibility with everything else you use. Cut the junk that's just taking up space and giving you false confidence. If you can't explain why a product is in your kit and how it works, throw it out. The 10 products that actually work are the ones that solve a real problem, stay out of each other's way, and deliver repeatable results without drama. The 5 that don't are the ones wrapped in the best marketing. You now know how to tell the difference, and that knowledge is worth more than any single bottle or paste you'll ever buy. Your paint will last longer, look better, and cost you less to maintain. That's the real win. So here's my question for you. What's one product sitting in your garage right now that you're not totally sure actually works? Drop it in the comments because I'm reading every single one and I'll tell you if it's worth keeping or if it's secretly sabotaging your finish. If this video just saved you from wasting money on hype, hit that like button and subscribe because next week I'm exposing the single worst thing you can do to your paint during a wash. And it's something almost everyone does without realizing the damage. It's not what you think, and ignoring it is costing you hundreds in correction work down the road. I'll see you in that one.